Everyone. So today, in the perspectives in education, we are going to discuss one more educational thinker, Babasaheb Ambedkar. So let us go to the slides. Briefly, we will discuss about Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar background and his education. So Babasaheb Ambedkar was born on April 14, 1891. So he was born on April 14, 1891, the state of Madhya Pradesh. The village name was Mau village. So he lived in Maharashtra, but he was born in Madhya Pradesh in a Mau village because his father and his grandfather both are from army. So his father name was Ranji Maloji Sakpal. His father name was Ranji Maloji Sakpal and his mother was Bhima Bai. So she was died when he was at the age of 5. He had two elder sisters. They got married, but with the help of the two sisters and his aunt, Mirabai. So he was brought up. His two sisters, and with the help of two sisters and his aunt Mirabai, he was brought up. And coming to his caste is we knew that he's from Mahar caste. So the Mahar caste was treated as a untouchable. So due to this untouchability, he faced many problems, even in the school as well as outside also. And he had a good experiences in the school because there were two teachers who influenced more in his life. The first one was the Krishna Keshu Ambedkar and the second one was the Pense. So firstly, we'll discuss about the Krishna Keshu. Krishna Keshu was very fond of Bhimrao Ambedkar because actually Bhimrao Ambedkar name was previously it was called as a Bhimrao Ranjimaloji. Right. His name was previous name was Bhimrao Ranjimaloji. But this Krishna Keshu Ambedkar, his Krishna Keshu was his main name, Ambedkar was his surname. This Ambedkar, his surname was added to the Bhimrao. So then this Bhimrao became as a Bhimrao Ambedkar. And this name was entered into the school register. And coming to the Pense also he's from Brahmin caste. He was also interested in this Bhimrao Ambedkar because he showed interest towards Ambedkar. One day, one day in the school, one incident was happened. So this Ambedkar was got drenched in a rain, but his when he got drenched in the rain, Pense sent his son along with Ambedkar to have a bath at home. So at home, Ambedkar had a hot water, and this water was provided at Pence's home. And later on, he brought to the school. So these two experiences give him a good experience in his life. And coming to his father was father's favorite games were hockey, football, cricket, and the same games were became as a favorite games. The passion of Ambedkar also. So coming to his hobbies, so he was interested in reading books. So his habit was reading books, and his father also used to buy number of books to this Ambedkar. And Ambedkar was used to read other books. He used to read other books than textbooks, and he had his own library, which was larger than personal libraries in India. And his father taught him good English because his father used to speak with him in English only, and he taught him also English. So he believed that his father was the main reason to learning the English. And when they shifted to the Bombay, so from Madhya Pradesh to when they shifted to Bombay, and the Bombay they lived in only one room. So in one room only, they used to cook and sleeping. Everything was done in only one room, but it was not suitable for studying for him. It was not suitable to studying for him. So then what he did, so nearby his room, there was a one garden. The garden name was Cherny Rose Garden. So he used to go to the Cherny Rose Garden. There he used to read under the street lamp. There he used to read under the street lamp. Coming to his schooling, briefly I will explain. In 1904, in Maratha High School, he studied for few months. He studied for few months, but later on he shifted to Elphinson High School. So in Elphinson High School, he completed his higher education. In 1907, so this Bhimarao was completed his matriculation. So what is matriculation? Matriculation was a entrance exam. Matriculation was a entrance exam for the university. Entrance exam for the university. And this entrance exam was passed by Bhimarao in 1907. And the most important thing is he was the first person among the Mahar caste to pass the matriculation exam. So he was the first among the Mahar caste to pass the matriculation. And these all Mahar caste people organized one meeting to felicitate Ambedkar. So to this meeting, S.K. Bhole, he was the president of this meeting, and Krishnaji Keluskar also joined this meeting to congratulate Ambedkar. So who is the Krishnaji Keluskar means? Krishnaji Keluskar was the headmaster of Wilson School. He was the headmaster of Wilson School, and this Krishnaji Keluskar used to observe Ambedkar. He used to observe Ambedkar at the garden. Which garden? Just now we discussed it. Which garden? Cherny Rose Garden. This Cherny Rose Garden, Ambedkar used to go and he studied there. And there, Kaluskar had a conversation with Ambedkar, and he observed him. He had an interaction with him, and he found everything, all the details of Ambedkar and his economical condition, his interest in studies. So everything he observed. But coming to education in 1915, again, what happened? He completed his master's degree. How he completed in master's degree? Again, the last point here. So Ambedkar had completed BA in Elphinson College. So he has completed BA in Elphinson College, but his economical condition was very weak. Just now I said that Krishnaji Keluskar, he was acquaintance of Baroda Maharaj Shayaji Rao, means he's familiar. He had a little friendship with Baroda Maharaja Shayaji Rao Gaikwad. So then he approached to this Maharaja Shayaji Rao Gaikwad, and he requested financial support to Ambedkar. Then this Shayaji Rao Gaikwad, he sanctioned the stipend of rupees 25 per month. Stipend of rupees 25 per month for till his completion of a BA. Till completion of BA. So BA, then what happened? He wanted to go to the Columbia for above studies. And in the Columbia University, where is the Columbia University? Means in USA from 1913 to 1916. So he was in USA, and for this also financial support was given by Shayaji Rao Gaikwad. So in 1913 to 1916, in 1915, what happened? He completed his master's degree with the subjects of economics, sociology, history, philosophy, and anthropology. So in 1915, he completed his master's degree in economics, sociology, history, and philosophy, and anthropology. And there he presented one thesis also. The thesis name is what? Ancient Indian Commerce. The thesis name is Ancient Indian Commerce. In 1916, again he presented second thesis. He presented second thesis. The thesis name is National Dividend of India, a historical analytical study. And in 1916 October, so he completed second thesis. Again in the month of October, he enrolled, means he joined in law college in the London School of Economics. So again he went to London, Britain. For what purpose? To complete the law. So these all financial aid, means financial support, got from the Shayaji Rao Gaikwad with the help of whom? Krishnaji Keluskar. So this is the background of financial support of Ambedkar. And Keluskar also, what he did, he was, as I said now, he was a headmaster of Wilson College. And Keluskar also wrote one book, Biography of Gautama Buddha. He wrote one book. That book name was Biography of Gautama Buddha. And this book influenced Ambedkar. This book influenced Ambedkar, so impacted in his life. So in ending days of his life, so he converted to Buddhism. Means because of this book, Ambedkar converted to Buddhism in the ending days of his life. Now, about the education, Ambedkar opinion on education. What kind of education should be given? So he believed that education must be, he felt that only through the education only society can be rebuilt on the basis of equality and justice. So if you want to rebuild the society, so then how it can be rebuilt? On the basis of equality and justice. So it will happen only through education. Through education only society can be rebuilt on the basis of equality and justice. He believed that. And not only that, he thought that education should be provided to the masses without caste discrimination, without caste and gender discrimination. Education should be provided. And also he said that education must be provided at the cheaper price, means at the cheapest rate. So in the parliament, there was a discussion on Bombay University Act and Basic Education Amendment Bill. So in that debate, Ambedkar proposed that education should be available to everyone at the cheapest price, he said. And also he founded one society. That society name was People's Education Society. It was established in 1945. So with the help of People Education Society, there were colleges were started, especially in the beginning, they started in the Bombay and Aurangabad. And they offered a variation in the courses to the boys and girls. And coming to the equality. So opinion of Ambedkar about the equality. So what he thought, education is the right tool to end what? Social slavery. So to end the slavery, education is the right tool, and education is a tool to bring social dignity. Yes, even this is also a tool to bring dignity and economic progress and also political freedom. To whom? To the Dalits. Because Dalits were living as a slaves. So to remove the slavery, what is the main tool here? Education is the right tool. Who believed here? Ambedkar believed. To bring them the dignity, social dignity, and to develop their economical progress and to give them political freedom, education is the main tool, right tool, he believed. And when he was a minister, when he worked as a labor minister, he proposed for the scholarship for Dalits to study in abroad. So Dalits should be provided scholarship to study in abroad. And he proposed to provide hostel facilities to educate Dalits. Hostels have been set up in Pune, Nasik, Solapur, Thane, and Dharwad in collaboration with the district local boards. So, with the help of district local boards, he established many colleges in the Pune, Nasik, Solapur, Thane, Dharwad. So, higher education, about the higher education, so he encouraged the youth to complete the higher education, because higher education gives a means it gives the mental development as well as independent thinking. And he has given suggestions what kind of higher education should be given in the universities. So this higher education must be appropriate for adults. This education must be appropriate for adults and not to fill the mind with information. So we will have the academic books. So that matter should not be filled in the minds. Means it should not be mug up in their minds. So what it should be done, it must give it personality. Means it should develop their character. So it should develop their character. And education must be continued with a critical questioning. So it should not be continued like a lecture method. So it must be continued with a critical questioning. Students travel towards the truth by attaining the integrity in the matter. So one should travel towards the truth, attaining integrity. These are the advices, suggestions he gave. And so on the 16th December in 1952 in Elphinson College. So in 1952, he went to the Elphinson College. So he addressed it to the students. He said about the universities, the needs of the modern world requires a new ideas. The needs of the modern world requires a new ideas. The university is a center of knowledge, not the center for making clerks. So what is expecting from the universities? So it must give them new ideas, and it must become to the center of knowledge. It should not become the center for making clerks. And also he said universities are not places where students are turned away, centers that create the environment to mold themselves through their independent research. So students means whoever is studying in the universities, they should go with the research, independent research. Then only their knowledge will be increased. And what he addressed to the students means only the clerks and typists are remaining, because at the time universities means most of the people are economically weak. Most of the people students are economically weak. They are unable to fulfill their studies. They are unable to fulfill their university education. So in the middle only they were dropping from the colleges and they were looking for the job. So with their education, they were getting the clerks and typist job. So that is the reason the Indians were remaining as the clerks and typist. So to give them financial help, so he proposed Udaya colleges. So at least whoever studies in these colleges, they can complete the higher education. And the People's Education Society. This education society was founded in 1945 by the Ambedkar. In 1950, they established two colleges. One is the Siddhartha Arts and Science College in Bombay. One is the Siddhartha Arts and Science in Bombay, and the next one is a Milind College in Aurangabad. So Ambedkar's son, Yashwantrao Ambedkar, he gave most of the books from Ambedkar's library to these two colleges. So at the beginning of this lecture, we discussed that Ambedkar had his own library. So whatever the books are available in this library, that all books are given to these two colleges. Who gave here? The Yashwantrao Ambedkar gave to this library. And requested to the government of India and Sayajirao Gaikwad for a hostel facility and financial aid for students of scheduled caste. Ambedkar requested to the government of India as well as Sayajirao Gaikwad. He was the Maharaja of Baroda. He is the king of Baroda. So for both of them, he requested to help them for construction of hostel facilities and financial aid, especially for the scheduled caste people. And Milind College was the first college for girls in Marathwada. So till now there were schools and primary schools and high schools were available for the girls, but no colleges were available in the university level. This was the Milind College, was the first college for girls which was established by Ambedkar with the help of People's Education Society. And with the help of this society, they started many colleges, high schools, night schools, hostels, and other institutions also. So he believed that social justice was possible only through the education. Social justice can be brought only through the education. If the lower classes of the society are educated, then the caste system will disappear. If the lower classes of the society educated, then the caste system will disappear by itself, and Indian democracy works successfully. If the lower classes are educated, even Indian democracy also will success, he thought. And he gave what is the slogan? Educate, mobilize, and organize. So educate, mobilize, and organize. For doing this, all his works, he was called as a Abhinava Manu. Ambedkar was called as a Abhinava Manu. And coming to his opinion about the teacher and teaching, what qualities teacher must have and what kind of teaching must be done to the students. So he believed that teacher must have the freedom to teach. Teacher must be given the freedom so that if the teacher having the freedom, then he give the opportunity to mutual discussion to the students. So teacher should get first the freedom, then he give the freedom to the students, then they both can have the mutual discussions, they both can develop, even students also will, he can develop his knowledge. And what he believed, exams are not everything. So education must be, so means we should not continue our education only for the exams. Exams are not everything. Besides exams, students work in colleges, means they should consider the students work also. And thesis, oral examination in higher education should be considered. Means students should present thesis and oral examinations in higher education. The number of tests should be reduced. Means the number of exams should be reduced. And Ambedkar, he involved in many movements. Among them, the famous one is the Mahad struggle and Nasik Kalaram Mandir movement. We knew that Bhimrao Ambedkar, he studied the law. So after coming to the India, he involved in many movements. Among them, the two are Mahad struggle and Nasik Kalaram Mandir movement. In 1943, he was appointed as a Minister of Labor in the Viceroy's Executive Council. So when he was appointed as a Viceroy's Executive Council as a Minister of Labor, so then he was focused on administration, taxation, and Indian agricultural problems, industrialization, labor laws, and religion, caste system, social justice, and for the construction of Damodar River Valley project also, for the utilization of water resources. He worked on it. He worked on the Damodar River Valley project to provide the water resources to the agricultural lands. And in 1943, he founded 289 technical training institutes. He founded 289 technical training institutes, and he was called as a father of hydropower or water resources, because he tried to provide the water facilities, water resources to the agricultural fields. So that is the reason he is called as a father of hydropower or water resources. And Central Public Works Department, and he worked in a Central Public Works Department, and electricity bills were created by him. And farmers are out of work for 6 months of the year. At the time before the independence, we know that before the independence, the farmers were working, means they were cultivating only one crop. So they were getting only 6 months of work. The remaining 6 months, they were free. So financially, they were not getting any kind of help. So to develop them, he wanted to establish agro-based industries. So these agro-based industries can give them livelihood the remaining 6 months of time. This is what he believed. Thank you for watching this video. Whoever not subscribed the channel, kindly I request you to subscribe the channel, like the video, and express your opinion in the comment section. I would like to give one information to the viewers. I'm uploading every topic in 2 languages. Separate playlist created in the YouTube channel, and whichever language is comfortable to you, please go through the playlist and watch the videos.